Hello Aries, welcome to October. I'm getting ready. This is Teresa from Tarot by T, and I want to just ring the bells and create sacred space for this reading. I hope you enjoyed September. We've survived September and Mercury Retrograde and the 2 eclipses, and now we're looking forward to October, which should be a calmer month. So, I want to say thank you for subscribing to my channel, thank you for watching the videos, and thank you for your wonderful comments and support. I really appreciate it. And also thank you for those people who have shown interest in getting a personal reading. I'm happy to serve you also. So let's see what's coming up for Aries for the month of October. Moving into fall. What does Aries need to know about love and life this October? We are working with the Celtic Cross and the Morgan Greer deck. And let's see, what does Aries need to know about the month of October in terms of love and life? What's coming up for Aries? Okay, let's see. The Devil card. The Hermit. The 5 of Wands. The 4 of Cups. The 2 of Cups. The 3 of Swords. The 9 of Swords. The King of Cups. The Page of Swords. And the Star. Now there's an interesting combination. Okay, so we start out with the Devil. The Devil card crossed by the Hermit. So the Devil tells me that you are struggling with some type of addiction or struggling with some type of fear. Because the Devil represents passion. It represents desire. Sometimes it could be the desire for another person. Maybe you have a strong physical attraction to someone, and you feel like you can't break away from this relationship. There's just a very strong physical connection. So the Devil often comes up, when it comes up in a relationship reading, it could be that you have this addiction toward this person, or you have this such a strong connection that you feel like you can't break away. You almost feel like you're kind of like under a spell in some way. And with the Hermit crossing, a part of it is also fear. You're afraid to get involved because the feelings are so strong in this relationship. Because with the Devil card, you're afraid of being overwhelmed by the relationship. You're afraid of your passion. You're afraid of your feelings. Maybe in the past you were used to being more superficial or having a lighter type of relationship. And this relationship is very intense. So it kind of scares you because you're afraid that you're going to be swallowed by it. And with the Hermit crossing the Devil, you may feel like you need to take some time out to really think. You might be feeling kind of lonely. There's like a loneliness. It's like you have this connection, but at the same time you're lonely. Maybe you need to take some time out to think about, why am I in this relationship? What do I need from a relationship? Is this person right for me? What am I afraid of? What's stopping me from being with a person? If you're suffering from some type of a physical addiction, like maybe a drinking or a drug problem, maybe you need to go for counseling. Maybe there's some kind of, it could be even a psychological problem. And you need help. You need advice. You need someone, you need guidance with the Hermit. Now sometimes when the Hermit comes up, it means that you go to see someone for professional advice. Or it could mean that you need to take some time out and hear the inner voice. What is your inner voice telling you? What is your inner guidance telling you? And it could be both. You may want to go to someone for advice and also take time out to really think. Because the Hermit is kind of like a lonely card. It's a card of saying, I don't want to socialize because I have to figure my life out. I don't want to get involved with someone until I really know what's right for me. And before you make any moves, because Aries, you have a tendency to be impulsive. And you jump into things without thinking. The Hermit is suggesting that you take some time out and really evaluate your life and think about what you want and what's right for you. In the past, you have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands could mean conflict or competition. And sometimes, so if it's a work situation, you might be working with a group of people that seem to be competing. Instead of working together, they're competing against each other. Or they just can't seem to agree. In a relationship, too, you might be with someone you're constantly arguing over petty details. And you just can't seem to get on the same page. You may not want the same things from life. It could also be internal conflict, where you're fighting within yourself. What do I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? So the wands, the Five of Wands, fives represent instability. Things are kind of up in the air. And wands, the Five of Wands usually represents some type of conflict. It can be an actual conflict between two people or an internal conflict. But either way, there's unrest with the Five of Wands. You have the Four of Cups in the recent past. The Four of Cups, you're kind of feeling bored with your life. And you may be feeling a little bit underappreciated or unappreciated. Maybe you feel that the people in your life are taking you for granted. If there's a relationship, you feel like you're not being valued by your partner. And so you're starting to think, well, maybe I should consider what else is out there for me. Maybe I shouldn't be with this person. Maybe I should look around and find someone else. So you're considering your options. But you're really not ready to change your current situation. The Four of Cups, I don't know if you can see this card, is someone who's contemplating change but not actually doing it. So, and see, this cup is coming out. So something's being offered to you. The hand comes out of the cloud and is offering this person who's sitting there just bored and saying, well, I don't know. Do I want to take this? I mean, you have, and if you see this Two of Cups, you have the potential to partner with someone. And this relationship could be something that very special. There's like a soul union type relationship where two people really understand each other, or they see you have a lot in common with this person, but at the same time there's conflict there. It's a very strange energy because there's strong attraction, strong compatibility, but at the same time there's a lot of battling going on. Maybe ego battles, each person wanting to pull in their own direction and not being able to be together in a united way, like you can't get on the same page for some reason. So you're contemplating, do I accept this relationship? Do I accept this person's love? Do I really want to change my situation? Because you're not really happy in your current situation. You're feeling bored with your life. You feel like you want to make changes. You're feeling like, well, maybe there's something out there that I need to do to change my life, but you're not totally miserable enough where you're going to actually make the change. Sometimes you have to reach a stage where staying where you are is more painful than moving or changing. And you haven't gotten to that stage yet. So people don't change until they don't make changes because they get comfortable until the pain of staying where you are is greater than the pain of changing. When that happens, then you just say, I can't take anymore, I've got to do something. So you're getting there, but you haven't gotten there yet as of recently. So now up in the future here, you got this Two of Cups. but it's also got the Three of Swords connected to it. So there's an imbalance in a relationship. One person may be doing all the giving, and another person may be doing all the taking. And you have a lot of mental stress too. You have a lot of worry. When the swords come up in a reading, and this is especially in your negative thinking sector, you're worried. You're sitting up at night, you can't sleep, you're having problems. Your mind is racing. Your mind can't stop. Maybe you're worried about a relationship. You might feel like you might be losing someone who is very important to you. Maybe you're afraid of breaking up. Because the Three of Swords, it's a heartache situation where you maybe you're afraid of losing someone. Or you're worried about the relationship. This could be what's going on. You're not sure how this other person feels. Maybe things are changing in the relationship. And it's concerning you. Because the Three of Swords is a cutting away. Sometimes it can mean breaking up of a relationship. And if it does, it usually means that both parties are feeling the sorrow. So there are strong feelings here. With the Two of Cups and with the Devil, there's a lot of passion. So when you get into a debate, you really feel passionate about each other, and for good or for bad. If it's good, there's a lot of great love. If you're fighting, there's a lot of anger or passion in the discussions. You don't feel mediocre about this person. It's very strong. You have very strong feelings one way or another. So it's like one of those, I can't live with them, I can't live without them kind of thing. Maybe you just need some time away from each other to sort things out and figure out how you really feel. Here's in your environment, there's the King of Cups. So this could describe a partner in your life. It describes someone who's very compassionate, very caring. Maybe even a teacher or a counselor and so on. Like, they give you advice. They're the kind of person that if you're struggling, if you have a problem, you can go to this person, and they seem to understand you. You can talk to them. So it could be that this is your partner. It could also be a good friend that you go to when you're in a crisis, and they have a way of calming things down. They have a way of counseling you so that you become less agitated. I feel almost that there could be someone in your life that can be a little difficult. Maybe you're not seeing, there's something you're just not facing. With the Page of Swords here in your wish of fulfillment, it could be that someone in your life is very difficult. Either they're difficult or you're being difficult, or they see you as being difficult. I think that's what it is. Because this person, okay, the King here, could be a male or a female, is showing how this person is viewing your relationship or your situation. So the King of Cups, with all these swords around him, could be when their feelings get hurt. They have very deep feelings, for one thing. Their feelings run very deep. And when they get hurt, they feel, they can be vindictive. So they can be challenging. If you had an argument with someone, they could be kind of mean, but it's only because they're hurting. It's, they might be sarcastic, or they might pretend that they don't care, or they might be isolate themselves. But it's not because they don't care, it's because they're hurting. So you might have to have a conversation with this person. And that's what the Page is. The Page is about communication. The Page is about having a difficult conversation. It could also mean someone is sometimes the page can mean spying or someone checking up on you. So you might feel like someone's been keeping an eye on you or watching your behavior in some way, like you're being watched, or someone's checking up on you or getting into your business, maybe gossiping about you, or that's what you're worried about. But I think it just means another angle of it is that you need to just sit down and talk to this person. There might be some passive aggression happening where one person is hurting and they don't want to say what's wrong, and so they're behaving in a way, like a little bit of a rebellious way. And you have to come to some kind of an understanding. You have to have a conversation. You know, what have I done? If I've done something to hurt you, let's talk about it. Or if you've done something to hurt me, let's talk about it. Let's just sit down and have that conversation. Because I think you can heal this relationship, but it's like you're missing each other. You're not communicating. There's like a disconnect somewhere. I think both of you care very deeply. And there's a lot of passion, or the potential for passion. But there's a little bit of an unhealthy vibe to this relationship. So you need to talk things out. There's like miscommunication. You're both trying to reach each other, but going about it in the wrong way. Now, you have the star at the end, which is the outcome. So I think that, to me, is hope that you can resolve this situation. You have this dream, you have this vision, you have this dream for the future, and you have the potential to achieve that goal. But it's not going to come easy. Number one, you have to stop worrying. You might be attracting negativity in your life because of your worrying. You're worrying about stuff that may not even be real. It might be in your mind, or it might be your perception of a situation, and that perception may not be accurate. That's why you have to communicate. Because this is what everyone does. Nobody wants to talk. They're afraid to have a conversation with someone. So we make up scenarios in our mind. Well, she said that, or he said that, so he must have meant this, and he did this. And we have this whole big story in our mind, and it may have nothing to do with reality. So no matter how difficult, you need to have that conversation. You have to be honest. That's the only way to resolve this. And I think if you do that, then you can have the potential of this star, which is having this beautiful soulmate union that you're looking for. And cut away behavior and, toxic behavior or habits, whatever you're doing that's dividing you. You need to get rid of that. Get rid of that behavior. And you have to start being honest and if you really care about this person and you really want that person in your life, then you will do the work. You will communicate, you will be honest, and you will try to change whatever is toxic in the relationship to something more healthy. And then you could have the promise of the star. If not, then there's a danger that you could wind up severing the relationship if you let yourself succumb to the fear of the devil, or you succumb. If you allow your toxic behavior to interfere with the relationship, you might wind up losing this person. So it's really important that you communicate. You can save the relationship. It doesn't have to end. But it's in danger of ending if you don't fix what's wrong. And the first step is to communicate. Think about what you really want. Maybe go get advice, get help. If you're having a problem, get help before it's too late. And then you wind up losing the person. Because there is a strong connection there. And you can save this. You can have the star in the future. So don't feel that you're alone. That's another thing about the hermit. Sometimes people feel like they're all alone in the world and no one understands them and no one can help them. There are people who care about you and want to help you, but you have to reach out to them. Nobody's a mind reader. You have to communicate. You can't be afraid to communicate and say, I need help. So there are people out there. Don't be isolated. Don't be the lone wolf. Aries has a tendency to be the lone wolf. I don't need anybody. I can handle this by myself. So that's my message for October. You're going to be working on trying to solve your problems. It could be whether it's psychological or physical, emotional. Whatever your problems are, you may need to see a counselor, or you may need to have a talk with someone that you care about so that you can straighten things out. And then you can enjoy the promise of the star. So I hope this reading has been a help to you, Aries, and I hope you have a wonderful October and a happy Halloween. And I will talk to you again in November. Thank you.